Joining us live via Skype to put all this information into perspective is Africa 54 Managing Editor Vincent Makori. Good evening, Vincent. Bring us up to speed with the latest, given there are so many new developments in Nairobi today.
Good evening, Esther. Indeed, so many things happening at a breakneck speed here in Kenya. It's even just a few hours before the scheduled poll. And now, this is what is taking place today in Kenya. You already mentioned the Supreme Court's inability to make a ruling on a case that was meant to stop the vote from taking place tomorrow. So that is very significant. What that means is the vote goes ahead as planned. In fact, the Electoral Commission Chairman, Wafula Chebukati, later on in the day said the elections will go on as planned. They have made the necessary arrangements and they've been assured of security at the polling station. So the elections are on. But then you remember that throughout the week we've been talking about Mr. Raila Odinga, the leader of the opposition NASA coalition, was to make a very, very important announcement. He did it this evening at the Nairobi time, and he said, henceforth, the National Super Alliance transforms from a political alliance to a national resistance movement. Something extremely significant. And right now, pundits are busy trying to understand what that means, because it brings those kind of thoughts and kind of connotations of the national resistance movement in Uganda and other places. Nevertheless, he did explain that they have all intentions to undermine the government that will be formed if there's a successful government being formed after tomorrow through methods that are not militant, but would include economic boycotts and perhaps other very, very peaceful methods. Mm-hmm. And one other very significant thing is Mr. Raila Odinga has called on his supporters not to go out in protest on polling day, but instead stay away, stay at home, pray, but deny Mr. President Uhuru Kenyatta the vote by not going to the polling station to vote.
Wow, Vincent, now has Mr. Kenyatta spoken since these new developments took place?
Mr. Kenyatta was scheduled to speak around 6 p.m. this evening Kenyan time. He hasn't. He may have started speaking as I'm talking to you now, but I haven't seen that. We expected him possibly to first call on the people of Kenya to go out in droves tomorrow and cast their votes and not to be scared of anything, because he has assured them of security. But of course, we also expected to hear how he will react to Mr. Raila Odinga's declaration. It's a declaration he made to consistently fight against this regime. And in fact, he did say that they will ensure there is another election after 90 days. So we're waiting to see.
Vincent, thank you very much for your reporting. Keep your eyes on the ground. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Sure, thank you.
Africa 54 Managing Editor Vincent Makori reporting live via Skype from Nairobi.